were having a blast. Teenage dreams and neon screens. It was all bad and no one to me. Like, you know, it's like whatever. Together forever. We're never gonna sever. Laughing, sharing our stories clever. We'll take you back. It's like whatever.
Welcome to Like Whatever, a podcast for, by, and about Gen X. I'm Nicole, and this is my BFFF, Heather.
Hello.
So, it was my birthday week.
It was your birthday week. Happy birthday.
Thank you. I had a lovely 4-day weekend.
Nice.
I got my tattoo.
Oh, yeah. Didn't I'm a terrible friend. I saw pictures of it. Oh, it's pretty.
Yeah, he did good.
He did.
He told me in 5 weeks to send him a picture, and he'll see if it needs touch-ups, which it does.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's fine. I'm super happy with it.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, I like it a lot. And then I took my daughter to the beach for a day. That was fun. I had my kids over for dinner for my birthday.
Lovely.
Yeah, it was a good week.
It's like 112 degrees right now.
It is. It's so hot in here. It's funny you're pulling your pant leg up to your knee because I did that like 5 minutes ago. And I have light pants on. You have on
I
jeans.
have jeans. I should have worn jeans.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is going to be a typical Easter Coast March day.
Yes, but preface that with yesterday and today.
It was
were
81 degrees today.
Yeah. And when I was driving down here, my car said it was 86, like halfway down. I was like, no way. So I checked the app and it said 86 too. I was like, damn.
And then, so tomorrow it's going to start out at 65 degrees and it's going to end at 31 degrees. And we're going to get snow and a thunderstorm.
Yep.
We're having it all tomorrow.
Yep.
It's good times. Of course, I'm off today when it's 81 degrees. And I get to start the day at 65 and end it at 31.
Yeah. Good times.
I'm going to have to run tomorrow to beat that nonsense. Ugh. The weather's weird.
So I started watching the Dinosaurs.
Oh my God, it's so good.
I watched like an episode and a half.
So good.
I was going to continue with it last night, but I went to Netflix and it popped up that Misery goes off Netflix at the end of the month.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, we were just talking about that. And I haven't seen that movie in forever. So I watched that last night.
That's a good movie, too.
It's so good.
It is good.
Kathy Bates is just amazing. So good. So, yeah. And I finished Stranger Things.
I have not done that yet. I got wrapped up in the dinosaur.
Yeah. I loved
So good.
Stranger Things. Loved it. I love the way they wrapped up the series. I loved it.
It was something I wanted to talk about with that. I thought of something to talk about, and then I did not send her the text. I'm pretty sure it was about dinosaurs. The dinosaur.
That show is just so interesting. Dinosaurs for me are like outer space. Like I can't wrap my head around
Right.
that there was a world with dinosaurs and the millions of years that are in between everything. So it kind of blows my mind.
And that's why I thought it was very well done, because they take you through
The science of it.
the science of it and the timeline of it, where they started as reptiles and then they go to being dinosaurs.
little tiny dinosaur.
And then how they evolved, the dinosaur evolved into and then was wiped out and then is now birds. Which is funny because that's what it was. I remember what it was.
Okay.
I've always been, my mom is deathly afraid of birds. And my dad came home with a parakeet because my dad's
I remember that
ass hat
parakeet.
for whatever reason. He decided Yellowbird was the name. You'll never guess what color it was. But she said, okay, as long as it was in the cage when she was around, no problem. So as soon as she would leave, we would let it out and she would fly around and blah, blah, blah. Get lost. She'd scream for you. Wasn't a very friendly bird, but she liked the dog and the dog liked her. Anyway, my mom would secretly, she liked the way it sounded. She liked listening to it. She would spray her with the spray bottle when she liked it as long as it was in the cage. Anyway.
Yep.
So I've always liked birds. And then I got a bird and I was like, yeah, I really do like birds a lot. And then I was thinking about it and I was like, because I love dinosaurs.
Yes. You just have a modern day dinosaur.
I do have a modern day, teeny tiny, and she bit the shit out of me the other day and drew blood because it's that time of year.
So she bites like a dinosaur.
She does. It's when the days start getting longer, their instincts kick in and they start getting hormonal. And she's molting on top of it. So she is a total T-Rex right now. Very cranky. Very
Conjuring her
violent.
ancestors.
I get it. Like, I could totally, she is yeah.
You're like, yeah, girl, I got you.
Yeah. And I was like, well, I had the Dinosaurs on. I made her watch it. I was like, look.
That's what got her
Remember
so
who
raged.
you are. Look, Simba.
Never forget where you came from.
That was you. Anyway, it's on Netflix. If you have seen it, if you're into that kind of thing, it is. I mean, the cinematography of it is simply amazing. I get
really
it.
is.
It's all AI. I
Yep,
understand
yep.
that. But I mean, man,
Impressive.
and they all have feathers.
I know. I saw that and I was like, all right, she'll be okay.
It makes me happy. And then there was one I didn't even know there was one that had in the cold. Maybe you haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, I'm only like an episode and a half in because I watched a whole one and I was tired, but I was like, no, I can do another.
I think it's like the third one.
Okay.
There's only 4, I think.
Yeah, it was 4 or 5,
Yeah,
something like that.
I blew right through them.
Yeah.
I'll
get them done before next week.
I was sad because then they were over.
Yeah.
What else happened this week?
I don't think anything.
No.
No, we're good.
This is for the Gen Xers who carried too much, too young. The ones who learned to be strong before they ever felt safe. The ones who survived and kept going. My Hearts of Glass series is a story about first love, but it's also about healing after trauma, about friends who become family, about choosing tenderness when the world taught you to wear armor. Set in the glow of 1980s suburbia, mall corridors, and mixtapes, it's nostalgic, yes, but it's also a reminder. You deserved better, and you still do. If you're ready for a story that sees you, visit my website, patgreenauthor.com, and discover the books Hearts of Glass Living in a Real World and its sequel, Hearts of Glass Fade Away and Radiate, in ebook, audiobook, and paperback. You're not invisible, and you were never alone.
Okay. All right. So, like, share, rate, review. Follow us wherever you listen to your podcasts. Follow us on all the socials
Every single one of them.
at Like Whatever Pod. We are on YouTube
We are.
at Like Whatever. And we have a website,
We do.
www.likewhateverpod.com.
Yes.
And we have an email,
We do.
likewhateverpod@gmail.com.
We sure do.
All right, now that we've gotten that out of the way, I wanted to do something this week to celebrate Women's History Month. And I really worked my brain on this one. It took me a long time to end up where I got, but I'm very happy with it. So let's fuck around and find out about the second and third waves of feminism. Whoop, 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 whoop. My resource this week is Britannica.com, one of my faves. So I didn't touch it all on the first wave of feminism, but that was back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, fighting for women's suffrage.
Yes. Susan B. Anthony.
And the second wave actually goes from like the 60s to the 80s, but we Gen X women or people in general got to reap some of the benefits of that. And then the third wave is by Gen X people, expanding on what the second wave did. So we're going to start with this. The second
all
wave.
be taken away. All taken away.
I know when I was reading some of it, I was like, it was fun while it lasted.
Yeah. That new bill. We won't be able to vote.
Yeah, I know.
Hold on, though. Does that cover, like, what if you have the certified driver or the driver's license with the star on it? Does that count?
The federal one?
I don't know.
Is that what that means?
I don't know. You had to get this driver's
Special one so that you could fly?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the federal one, which I haven't gotten yet. I just use my passport anytime I fly.
I thought it was just your license and it had a star on it. Mm-hmm. Well, mine does. I got that a long time ago.
I I didn't go do it yet. Like, I got my last license right before that went in.
Well, I had to change my name. Okay.
Yep. All right. The second wave of feminism began in the 1960s, a time of momentous social change in the United States, spurred by the civil rights movement and Vietnam War protests. Although the fight for women's rights had become dormant following the ratification of the 19th Amendment in 1920, which granted women suffrage, by the mid-20th century, a new generation of feminist writers had set the tone for a renewed activism. French writer and philosopher Simone de Beauvoir.
Yeah.
Did I get it right?
Sure.
You speak French.
Beauvoir.
Provided, wait a minute. Oh, the foundation for the modern era of feminist thinking in 1949 with the publication of her book. It's written.
It's been a long time. Le deuxième sexe.
Okay. The Second Sex, which explores definitions of womanhood and argues against society's treatment of women as secondary to men. Oh, how times have not changed.
No.
Building on Beauvoir's work, American author Betty Friedan.
It does look like freedom.
It does.
It's very tiny letters.
Became the primary catalyst of second wave feminism with her book, The Feminine Mystique, in 1963. Friedan collected oral histories and conducted interviews with white, college-educated, middle-class women who were dissatisfied with their role as housewives. Her book identified a pervasive system of oppression and discrimination against women and challenged assumptions about women's roles in society as mothers and homemakers. The book immediately became a bestseller and galvanized women across the United States, albeit mostly middle-class white women, into feminist organization. The start of the second wave of feminism coincided with the passage of numerous pieces of anti-discrimination legislation in the early 1960s that were the fruits of organizing and lobbying by labor and civil rights activists. The Equal Pay Act of 1963 outlawed employers from paying women less than men for equal work at the same job. And it's fucking hilarious. That was 1963.
And it's a lie because women still get paid less than men.
Yes. And it's a law, but, you know, whatever.
What the fuck are laws?
Yeah, especially. Well, no. An amendment to Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 prohibited employers from discriminating on the basis of sex. Title VII also established the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission in 1965, which provided women access to additional labor opportunities in jobs across all areas of the economy. Also, in 1965, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the constitutional right of married couples to use contraception in the case of Griswold versus State of Connecticut. And that blows my mind like outer space, that prior to 1965, you were not allowed to use contraception.
Crazy.
I mean, not that anybody was there to see what you're doing, but the ruling was a landmark piece of legislation that paved the way for women's reproductive rights.
Which we no longer have.
Yeah. That's why I said fun while it lasted.
Well, that was also what I wanted to, because and now I remember what it was.
Okay.
Really what I remember what it was.
Okay.
So, you know how for a while it was, well, women shouldn't use abortion as contraceptives, and blah, blah, blah. And if you don't want to have a baby, don't open your legs. And so apparently there is now a baby shortage. Yeah, it's a population decline because women said, bet. And because women don't want to have a baby. You don't have to have a baby to make your life.
And we need a population decline.
Yeah.
So
And we need a bunch
no harm, no
of
foul.
crazy ants running around. We're awesome.
However, these measures were seen by some feminists as lacking in a world where women faced widespread discrimination. Leaders of the women's movement, including U.S. Representative Bella Abzug, U.S. Representative Shirley Chisholm, civil rights activist Fannie Lou Hamer, Native American activist LaDonna Harris, and writer and journalist Gloria Steinem formed groups to organize for women's rights and raise awareness of the necessity of women's liberation. The National Organization of Women formed in 1966 to achieve and protect equal rights for women. NOW's founding was partly ignited by the EEOC's initial decision that sex-based discrimination in job advertisements was lawful under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act. The EEOC later reversed this decision, and in 1973, the Supreme Court ruled that sex-segregated job advertising was unconstitutional. The National Women's Political Caucus, formed in 1971 to recruit and support women seeking public office and to amplify the voices of women in government. Like NOW, the NWPC was formed partly in response to failed legislative efforts, in this case, Congress's failure to pass the Equal Rights Amendment in 1970, which was the first year that proposed bill made it past the committee stage. Second wave feminists organized efforts resulting in many political and societal changes. Chisholm, on NWPC co-founder, ran for the Democratic nomination for U.S. president in 1972, making her the first African-American candidate on a major party's presidential ticket. Chisholm wanted to bring the rights of women and Black Americans front and center in national politics. During her campaign, she was blocked from participating in televised debates, which, again, blows my mind.
Insane.
Blows my mind. After filing a complaint with the Federal Communications Commission, she was allowed equal time as for the male Democratic candidates in the California primary debate. She won 152 delegates before withdrawing from the nomination race. Her candidacy is credited with inspiring numerous women and people from other underrepresented groups such as Blacks, Latinos, Asian Americans to run for public office. In 1972, the signing into law of Title IX of the Federal Education Amendments made discrimination based on sex illegal in education programs and activities receiving federal funding. In 2002, Title IX was renamed the Patsy Takemoto Mink Equal Opportunity in Education Act in honor of its co-author, U.S. Representative Patsy Takemoto Mink, who died that year. Other legislative victories included the Supreme Court's ruling on Roe versus Wade. I miss you, Roe versus Wade. In 1973, and the passage of the Equal Credit Opportunity Act in 1974, which was sponsored in Congress by Abzug and prohibited lenders and creditors from denying women mortgages or credit cards in their own name because of their sex or marital status.
Our mothers, until the year I was born, could not have their own accounts or credit cards
Without a male signature.
in my lifetime.
And it wasn't just that your husband, if you didn't have a husband,
Your dad had to do it.
or your brother.
I wonder who did mom's. I'll have to ask her. She would be like, nobody but mom. Come on.
Second wave feminists also pushed for changes in the law and social attitudes towards rape and domestic violence. In 1972, the first emergency hotline for rape victims opened in Washington, D.C. By the mid-1970s, the first domestic violence hotlines and shelters had been established, and a small number of states began passing laws that recognized marital rape as a crime.
Again, in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Not in the 1800s. Not.
Yep. In 1978, Title 12 of the Civil Rights Act was amended to include the Pregnancy Discrimination Act, which prohibits workplace discrimination on the basis of pregnancy, childbirth, or related medical conditions. That's another one that's not necessarily...
It's not.
No. Okay.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Because especially if you're in a right to work state where they can just fire you for whatever reason.
Which Delaware is.
You'd have to prove that it was because you were pregnant, and how are you going to do that?
Exactly. Yep.
Yes, they specifically said, don't come in anymore. Don't bring your pregnant ass into work anymore.
And you got it on video. Unless you get all that, you're screwed.
SOL.
Yep. Not all second wave feminist legislative efforts ended in success, in particular, the effort to add the ERA to the U.S. Constitution, which would guarantee that equality of rights under the law shall not be denied or abridged by the United States on account of one's sex. First introduced in Congress in 1923, the ERA finally passed both houses of Congress in 1972. However, the amendment failed to be ratified by the required threshold of 38 states before the extended deadline of June 30th, 1982.
82.
82. We were alive, folks.
We remember 82. Not even just we were alive.
Yeah, exactly.
We lived it.
Yeah.
We were riding big wheels without a care in the world.
Yeah. It's no wonder our mothers didn't care about us at this point. They're like, fuck it.
They were too busy
Yeah.
fighting for their own rights.
To party. While the first wave of feminism focused on women's legal rights, the second wave featured a theoretical facet not present in the preceding wave, in which the nature of womanhood and equality themselves were confronted. Books by feminist authors and public debates and discussions challenged traditional thoughts about a woman's role in society. Seminal texts of a second wave era include Australian author Germaine Greer's The Female Eunuch. There's a lot of words in here. That's why I was just like, Shulamith Firestone's The Dialectic of Sex, The Case for Feminist Revolution, and Kate Millett's Sexual Politics, all of which were bestsellers upon their publication in 1970. At New York City's Town Hall in 1971, Greer joined New York NOW President Jacqueline Caballos, lesbian activist and writer Jill Johnston, and cultural and literary critic Diana Trilling in a notorious debate on women's liberation with author Norman Mailer, whose books were criticized by feminists for their indulgence in male chauvinism. Women's study departments began to form at universities, beginning with San Diego State.
Here's what I find weird, and I'm going to use my own self because I don't know anybody else.
Okay.
And how y'all were raised.
Right.
Like I've said a million times, my father wanted boys. He's made that well known, and he got girls. I'm pretty sure that my father grew up in an extremely chauvinistic.
Oh yeah.
His dad was in the Navy. He avoided Vietnam by going into the Navy reserves. His dad was a pipe fitter. There was no girls anywhere. They didn't have I don't think they had a whole lot of girls. Well, they had maybe I don't. Anyway, he came from a very chauvinistic family. And it's not like my mom helped at all, because my mom was a daddy's girl and she got whatever she wanted. And I mean, she worked, but you know,
Right.
Anyway, day one, my father is the least chauvinistic human being
If that ain't the truth.
on earth.
Yeah.
Like, he wears my mom's slippers around the house. Like, if you just saw my dad randomly, you'd probably think he's gay. He wears pink. He just doesn't give two fucks about what anybody thinks of him for any reason. He used to play in golf tournaments with lesbians in the 80s. They lived down the street from us. It was Carol and Carol. We in a male-dominated field of cooks in restaurants. We had more female cooks than I believe I mean, the majority of our staff was, especially when my sister and I got older. But we were taught very young that there is nothing that you cannot do. Because my sister would try and pull that shit all the time. We're like, oh, it's too heavy, Dad. I can't. And he'd be like, no. You can do it. Anything a boy can do, you can do better. And it was, you know, her favorite would be like, she doesn't belong at the DMV. That's a boy's job. So he would make her ass go specifically to the DMV. You know, we couldn't drive a car without learning to change the oil and change a tire because I don't want you out there and having. Mostly, I think it was because, you know, it was the 80s and 90s and people got kidnapped all the time. And he didn't want us out on the. I mean, we're here. It's not like this is high crime area.
Right.
But apparently it was the other day. But, you know, we had to. So it was always weird to me that even though and I think he maybe just lied that he just always wanted boys.
Yeah.
Maybe he did want girls because he hates boys. I don't know, but
Yeah, maybe.
he just never, it was never, you did not think that there wasn't anything you couldn't do because you were a girl. Like never has ever been a thought in my head that like, well, that's not something girls do. I played with, they bought me, and it's not even like I was a tomboy. I had trucks and they didn't let me have the BB gun, but that's because I would have shot my sister. Those exact words.
You would have shot your
I
sister.
would have shot my sister,
Or she would have taken it from you
and
and
shot
shot
me.
you. Yeah.
Yes. So it's always been crazy to me that he was like that.
Yeah. He was the exception.
I mean, really, he's just the exact opposite.
Yeah. Of the times.
And
yeah.
he will never tell you who he votes for. And I think as much as he hated Hillary, because I feel like he hates Hillary, although he's never really ever really speaks about politics at all. And I don't know if that's because he votes an opposite way of me, and so he doesn't want to, but he usually loves arguing with me, so I don't think that's it. But I can't imagine he would have voted for Trump.
Yeah, I would say that
He might have just not voted.
He does. Well, I think he voted, and I think he has feelings, but I could also. Your dad's also not the type to sit around and talk politics. So
True.
maybe he just keeps
I
his
just
mouth
can't.
shut so that he
As
doesn't have to talk to anybody about it.
As anti-chauvinist and as not, I just can't imagine that my father would be able to pull a lever for someone like that. That is so, even if he thinks everything, maybe he just didn't vote on the president. I could see him doing that. I just cannot see him voting for Donald Trump simply because of his chauvinism.
Yeah.
And the way he talks about his daughter, I just can't imagine my father. Like, I just can't. Anyway, that's, if you need to know more about my dad, he is the least chauvinistic human being ever on earth.
He really is.
Sorry, tangent.
Okay. That's all right. Anytime you want to give
I'm just saying,
a
we
good
were
man some praise. let's do it.
And every time we would, because it is a male dominated world, and the Cisco delivery guys would show up and they'd be like, you have somebody here that's going to help you? Or do you have somebody else here to help? And I'm like, why, you need help? Let's roll. Come on. This shit ain't going to put itself away. And I'm telling you. And any time that you would even try, like we talked about last week, no boys allowed. And to this day, when my nephew was born, I mean, he loves my nephew, but you can tell he loves my niece way a lot more. She's much more up his alley.
Yep.
They wrestle and he throws her around and she attacks him. And my sister did have to yell at her because she's like, he's getting too old for that. You got to stop.
Maybe that's why his back's always messed up.
It is. No joke.
Because an 18-year-old little mountain of muscle is just tossing.
I'm telling you, she will come in the door and just like attack stance at him and just run full speed at him and just take him down. And he loved it. And didn't ever mess. My nephew would hold his hand and lead him out to his motorcycle and say, "You go ride your motorcycle." He had to stay there with my mom because she had the money. But it's just always strange to me that he came from that. And
Yeah. It's awesome. All right. Back to our story.
sorry,
No.
had to-
No. He deserved it.
he's a good guy.
Yeah. However, there was no single coherent feminist ideology, and three major schools of feminist thought emerged to encompass various stances. The first was liberal feminism, also called mainstream feminism, which focused on pragmatic changes at the constitutional and governmental levels. Liberal feminism called for integrating women into the established power structure and giving women equal access to the roles and opportunities that were traditionally dominated by men. By contrast, radical feminism, the second group, sought to change or subvert the institutions themselves, which were seen as inherently patriarchal, hierarchical, and authoritarian. Cultural feminism, the third group, embraced the differences between the sexes and advocated celebrating qualities associated with women, such as nurturing and caring for others. For this reason, cultural feminism is sometimes called difference feminism. Further splits within second wave feminism sprang from the wide diversity of experiences between feminists, which was often not acknowledged by the overarching women's movement. White, educated, middle-class women built the second wave around their experiences, leading to significant gaps in issues being addressed for feminists of other ethnicities and classes who experienced discrimination in additional forms. Black feminists in particular faced challenges from oppression caused by white women who mistakenly believed unity through a common gender transcended all other experiences. Black feminists created their own organization, including the National Black Feminist Organization in 1973 and the Combahee River Collection in 1974. Black feminist writers who addressed the disparities in oppression and experience among the second wave included Frances M. Beale in her essay Double Jeopardy, To Be Black and Female in 1969, and Bell Hooks in her book Ain't I a Woman? Black Women and Feminism in 1981. Poet and essayist Audre Lorde and novelist Alice Walker were influential voices in Black feminism who included lesbian themes in their work. Organized second wave efforts slowed as the women's movement entered the 1980s. The many legislative successes in the previous 2 decades gave way to attitudes by some women that the movement's goals had been achieved. Further progress was complicated by disagreement over issues such as women's sexual freedom, in particular a rift between anti-pornography feminists and those who advocated for a more sex-positive feminism, and women's roles in the armed forces. By the 1990s, many of these issues were being taken up by a new generation of women, the third wave of feminists.
That's us.
Us.
We should probably go back in time and do your thing.
Yep.
Because Larry pure to your light, we're laughing through her teenage plight. So grab your snacks and brace your soul. This middle school madness out of control.
All right, we are going to do our weekly edition of Nicole's 1984 diary. Last week was Wednesday, April 18th. Today is Sunday, April 22nd.
Oh, no. We've skipped.
Well, I have an excuse.
Oh, it better be a good one.
I forgot to write in my diary over the weekend.
Motherfucker.
So here is what I did over the weekend.
Oh, good. It's a full recap.
It is Thursday the 19th, 1984. Today was my last day at home. Then I went to Daddy and Janet's in Felton.
That's why we didn't write. Probably action-packed, Pee-wee.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. I actually enjoyed doing things when I was over there. I was playing in the yard when Daddy got home, and he played soccer with us, which I can't even imagine my dad doing.
I can't either.
I'm going to have to tell him that.
Hey, we played soccer.
Then after Daddy got here and we went to his house on Friday, my sister and me were at Daddy's, and Daddy took my sister and me to the store. Whew. That was a very complicated sentence. I must have been half asleep. Oh, this is a sad one.
Oh, no.
Yeah. The puppies Cleo had were doing...
I knew it was going to be about the puppies.
The puppies Cleo had were doing so-so. 3 had died, and by the time we got to Aunt Dot's to pick them up, 1 more had died. All but 1 was okay. He was sick and he died somehow.
Yeah.
Now we have 3. Saturday we decorated Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Oh, I can still smell it.
Yeah, that Rit dye has a...
And we had an Easter egg hunt. Tonight we had to come back home. Boo. Sunday was Easter. Oh, that's why I had to go home early.
Oh, yeah.
We got candy. We got a lot from Daddy and Janet. I called Daddy and Daphne.
Daphne's back.
She's just popping
Welcome
in
back.
here and there. My sister wanted to call Miss Greenlee to tell her Happy Easter. Riveting.
Yeah.
Today was my last day at home from vacation. Back to school tomorrow. Yuck. With all caps and exclamation points.
Yuck.
Yep. So there's a recap of my weekend.
Excellent.
Easter was so much fun as a kid.
Yeah.
You didn't enjoy Easter? You like
Always
candy
had to
though.
work.
Even as a little kid. Did you get Easter bunnies or Easter baskets?
Have you met my father? Of course
Okay.
we got Easter baskets.
So he could eat all your candy.
Everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
The baskets were out of control. They still are. We still get Easter baskets. She swears he says it's her, but meanwhile it's
Yeah.
because it's no junk candy either. It is all name brand.
Well, my kids are still in their 20s, but I still have to make Easter baskets because my oldest daughter makes me
Yeah.
make them for her. But they're not quite as big as they were back then.
We tried in when we were like older teenagers and 20s. I was like, let's maybe cut down on. I can buy my own candy. It's like, Mom,
Yeah, the day after Easter.
yeah, it's so much cheaper. Let's swell up on the candy. And she was agreeing. And then, nope, there'd be and when I was a kid, there were specifically 3 Easter baskets. One for my sister, one for me, and mine always had white chocolate. My sister's always had.
I always got white chocolate too.
Had the Cadbury eggs. I don't like the Cadbury eggs. And I would get extra peanut butter cups, and she would get the Cadbury eggs, and then I would have white chocolate. She doesn't like white chocolate. And then my dad had a bigger basket,
Easter Bunny liked him more.
way more, with extra candy in it, so that he'd keep out of ours.
Man, white chocolate was so good back
I
then.
love white chocolate.
I know, but back then I can still taste it was a yellowy color and it was real buttery and creamy tasting. It was way better than it. I mean, I still love it today, but
I don't even know what it's made out of.
white
Gotta
chocolate
be
beans.
it's white cows. I have no idea what white chocolate is.
Yeah, I don't
It's
either.
got to be some kind of cream based. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, lots of sugar for
It's got to
sure.
be like some kind of cream and sugar.
Yeah.
Is white.
But when I was a kid, I've mentioned this before, we went to church 45 minutes away from our house, and there was a sunrise service on Easter morning. So we had to get up before the crack of dawn to get ready and go to church. And then we went to church, and then I would always get my hair pulled by my mom because I would fall asleep because I was tired. And when I'd fall asleep, my head would drop, and she'd grab my hair and yank it and snatch my head.
Yeah. That's a mom thing.
And then after church, we would go back to my friend's house, just people in the church. And they had a great property with a pond and a tree house and all that. And they would hide Easter eggs for us and we'd have breakfast. And so that part was fun. But
We would go before we got my sister and before we had jobs, when we were living in vans. My grandfather worked at the big oil company out there, and they would have an Easter egg hunt every year. And then I distinctly remember that the grand prize was a giant bunny the size of you.
ooh.
I know there's hollow bunnies that I know. And I never won it. I always won a bag of jelly beans. I don't care for jelly beans.
I like Jelly Bellies.
I like orange jelly beans only.
I love Jelly Bellies, but I will go through the bag before I eat them and pick out all the watermelon, the peach, the pear. Oh, there are some nasty ones in there. And they taste so bad.
If I could just have like a bag of only orange jelly beans, I'd be okay. But the rest of them are just gross.
I don't dislike jelly beans, but Jelly Bellies are definitely the only ones I really eat.
White chocolate is made out of a little bit of chocolate powder and mostly milk solids. I don't know what that is, but
I still don't know what it's made out of.
I don't either. But
All
it's
right.
got a little bit of chocolate in it.
All right, let's move on now to our generation, the third wave of feminism.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
The third wave of feminism emerged in the 1990s and was led by members of Generation X, the generation of Americans born between 1960s and 1970s who came of age in a media-saturated and culturally and economically diverse milieu.
That's correct.
Although third wave feminists benefited significantly from the legal rights and protections that had been obtained by first and second wave feminists, they also critiqued some of the positions of second wave feminists and what they felt was the unfinished work of the previous generations. The third wave was made possible by the greater economic and professional power and status achieved by the women of the second wave, the massive expansion in opportunities for the dissemination of ideas created by the information revolution of the late 20th century, and the coming of age of Gen X scholars and activists. Some early adherents of the new approach were literally daughters of the second wave. In 1992, Rebecca Walker, the daughter of the novelist and second waver Alice Walker, published an article in Miss Magazine that examined the impact of the confirmation of Clarence Thomas to the U.S. Supreme Court in 1991. We
I
all remember that. The pubic hair on the Coke bottle. Thomas has narrowly confirmed, even after testimony to the Senate Judiciary Committee by Anita Hill, an attorney who had formerly worked for Thomas, credibly accusing him of sexual assault. Walker's article, Becoming the Third Wave, described her feelings of rage about the repudiation of Hill's testimony, and she closed her article by calling for a new wave of feminist action. That same year, Walker and Shannon Liss Reardon founded Third Wave Direct Action Corporation. In 1997, the group became Third Wave Foundation and was restructured in 2013 as the Third Wave Fund. It's dedicated to supporting groups and individuals working towards gender, racial, economic, and social justice. Jennifer Baumgardner and Amy Richards, authors of Manifesta, Young Women, Feminism, and the Future in 2000, were both born in 1970 and raised by second wavers who had belonged to organized feminist groups, questioned the sex-based division of labor in their households, and raised their daughters to be self-aware, empowered, articulate, high-achieving women. Much like your father.
Yes. My father
was a feminist.
and did
He's
all
a
the
second
ironing.
waver.
My mom will not iron anything ever for any reason. Mm-hmm. She said, I don't even know how to do it and I don't want to do it. And my father will iron. Mm-hmm. He busts out. My father did the laundry. Mm. Yeah, he's very specific about it. Mm. Yeah. I think he has a touch of the tism too. I think that's where I got it from. Yeah, my father, they split the house. There was not.
No, definitely no gender roles for sure.
Not in my house.
Nope. These women and others like them grew up with the expectation of achievement and examples of female success, as well as an awareness of the barriers presented by sexism, racism, and classism. They chose to battle such obstacles by inverting sexist, racist, and classist symbols, fighting patriarchy with irony, answering violence with stories of survival, and combating continued exclusion with grassroots activism and radical democracy. Rather than becoming part of the machine, third wavers began both sabotaging and rebuilding the machine itself. Go Gen X. At the same time, third wave activism occurred alongside mainstream political activism that saw some significant gains won by feminists of earlier generations, spurred by Hill's testimony in 1991 and by the treatment she received from male Democrats on the Senate Judiciary Committee. An unprecedented number of Democratic women ran for Congress, which led to the election of 28 new congresswomen.
Yep.
4 to the Senate, and 24 to the House of Representatives in 1992, consequently dubbed the Year of the Woman. In 1992, election winners included Carol Moseley Braun, the first African-American woman elected to Senate.
That was the first year we could vote.
Yeah, it was.
Some of you got to vote before, but specifically we.
All right. Influenced by the postmodernist movement of academia, third wave feminists sought to question, reclaim, and redefine the ideas, words, and media that transmit ideas about womanhood, gender, beauty, sexuality, femininity, and masculinity, among other things. There was a decided shift in perceptions of gender, with the notion that there are some characteristics that are strictly male and others that are strictly female, giving way to the concept of gender continuum. From this perspective, each person is seen as possessing, expressing, and suppressing the full range of traits that had previously been associated with one gender or the other. For third-wave feminists, therefore, sexual liberation, a major goal of second-wave feminists, was expanded to mean a process of first becoming conscious of the ways one gender identity and sexuality have been shaped by society, and then intentionally structuring and becoming free to express one's authentic gender identity. Indeed, the third wave particularly celebrated the diversity of women's experiences and acknowledged that there is no universal definition or account of womanhood.
You know,
Are you sure your dad wasn't a part of this group?
I'm not sure. He reads, so it's not like he doesn't read. I don't know. I don't know. He didn't, but I mean, I wore combat boots and they bought me a leather jacket. And I know that he came from a misogynistic, closed-minded, because my grandmother once said that if I wanted to be a boy, she'd pay for it, which is surprisingly open-minded, but I don't think she meant it.
Yeah, she was being sarcastic.
She did it in the middle of a group of other people.
Yeah.
But no, and it's funny too, because I was thinking about it with the whole gothic aesthetic. He would make fun of me, but it would be more like he would pretend to be Robert Smith, and he would say, because every time I would have a video on, I guess they're used to their music, right? So it's very energetic, and they're moving around on the stage, and you know, the Rolling Stones, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And he's watching Robert Smith just stand in one spot, and he would, when he would sing the Cure songs, he would lay on the floor in the kitchen. So it was never like he made fun of me that way. Like, it was like, your music is so sad. Like, why is your music so sad? And like, make fun of it that way. But never once did he ever make fun of like the black lipstick or the clothes that I wore, or never called me a weirdo.
No, it was all just playful.
I dyed my hair. The only reason my mom was mad about it is because she didn't want her bathroom messed up, and she didn't like pink. She didn't like the pink.
It's the one time your mom has been mad at me.
Yeah, she was unhappy with the call. She didn't know nothing about all the piercings I got, and
Tattoos.
when I got the tattoos, my dad said, "I hope your leg falls off." And he does not have any tattoos. My mom has several, but he only says, "I hope they get infected." That's it. Like, he doesn't like them, but.
Yeah, your dad has a very sarcastic sense of humor. That's why I find him so funny. My dad's much like that too.
Yeah,
sarcastic and funny.
It's so weird. I don't know.
But it's always playful and laughing. Like, you never feel offended.
No,
or like you're being attacked.
Because I don't think even if he like accidentally does, I don't think he means it that way.
Right. So you would never take it that way.
So,
right.
I don't know. It's always been weird to me, because my sister's husband, when my nephew was like 2 or 3, my sister he wanted a kitchen, like a little kitchen, and my sister was getting
your whole family cooks. Of course, you wanted a kitchen.
My sister was getting him one, and her mother-in-law lost her mind that you cannot buy a little boy a kitchen. And my brother-in-law was like, his mom cooks, his aunt cooks, his pop-up cooks. What's wrong with him? And my brother-in-law, trust me, he does there's no gender roles in that house either.
Oh, no.
She would lay the smack down on him.
I was going to say, if anything, girls run that world.
Yes, they do. No joke.
All right. Of the texts that were highly influential to the third wave, one of the earliest was Kimberly Crenshaw's 1989 article, Demarginalizing the Intersection of Race and Sex, a Black Feminist Critique of Anti-Discrimination Doctrine, Feminist Theory, and Anti-Racist Politics. Shoo.
That's a lot.
I've read books longer than that
I
title.
know, right?
That's not true. I don't read.
I know she doesn't.
But anyway, I've read Facebook posts longer than that. Or shorter. Crenshaw's article introduced the term intersectionality to convey how various aspects of individual identity, including race, gender, class, and sexuality, interact to create distinct experiences of privilege or oppression. In particular, gender-based oppression can interplay with other forms of systemic oppression, such as sexism, racism, and homophobia, and create a multiplicity of gendered experiences. Also influential were Judith Butler's Gender Trouble, Feminism and the Subversion of Identity, and Patricia Hill Collins' Black Feminist Thought, Knowledge, Consciousness, and the Politics of Empowerment, both published in 1990. That same year, Naomi Wolf published her first book, the best-selling The Beauty Myth, How Images of Beauty Are Used Against Women. And I've actually heard of that one. Mm-hmm. I'm not a reader, so I don't know authors and I don't know books, but I know that one. In 1991, Susan Faludi published Backlash, The Undeclared War Against American Women, also a significant bestseller. I love that title, The Undeclared War Against American Women.
Yep.
Third wavers inherited a foothold of institutional power created by second wavers, including women's studies programs at universities, long-standing feminist organizations, and well-established publishing outlets such as Miss and several academic journals. These outlets became a less important part of the culture of the third wave than they had been in the second wave. Gen X doesn't read. It's not just me.
We don't have time for that.
Yeah. We're too busy trying to run the world. Mm-hmm. In expressing their concerns, third wave feminists actively subverted, co-opted, and played on seemingly sexist images and symbols. This was evident in the double entendre and irony of the language commonly adopted by people in their self-presentations. Slang terms for adult women used derogatorily in most earlier contexts, including the term girl, became proud and defiant labels. The spirit and intent of the third wave shone through the raw honesty, humor, and horror of the Vagina Monologues, a 1996 play and later a book by formerly Eve Ensler, that explored women's feelings about sexuality and topics as diverse as orgasm, childbirth, and rape. The third wave spirit also came through in the righteous anger of punk rock's Riot Girl movement, which gave rise to bands and artists such as Sleater Kinney and Bikini Kill, and in the playfulness, seriousness, and subversion of the Guerrilla Girls, a group of women artists who donned gorilla masks in an effort to expose female stereotypes and fight discrimination against female artists. Do you listen to any of those bands?
Not really.
Okay. Something made me, reclaiming like the words.
Yeah.
Made me think, because they said like the term girl.
Girl.
I've always hated personally being called a bitch. And I know it's a playful word that women use for each other. Mm-hmm. There was a person in particular that used to do it all the time. Mm-hmm. And it drove me crazy. I think it's a word that should be saved for someone who actually is a bitch. And I don't think it's a good nickname. But reading that, I'm like, that kind of puts it into perspective. Yeah. Like, we're reclaiming the word. Girls can call each other bitch. But I'm still not a big fan.
Well, and I think that is more of the younger. Mm-hmm. The younger girls do that. I think that's a little bit younger than us. Yeah. I think it's funny because the Gen X women, Gen X people, us, we aren't, I think I've seen it before in a few things. It's not like we're openly, and I think we get accused of it a lot, that we're not openly trying to change things and we're not burning things to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree with that though, because I believe that the women we are raising,
Yes.
which are far more of us, of them, than there are of us, and looking at who they are now and where we are now. And I don't mean just with feminism. And I mean with, is it great? No. Is it everyone equal? No. But the fact that we know transgender people, that we know that you can be openly gay on TV. Are we 100% there? No. But it's not in the closet anymore.
Yes.
And I feel like we did that, and it wasn't like openly, but who we are raising, or who you are raising, because I'm not, but these women that we are raising, these people that we are raising are better and will burn things to the ground.
It's funny that I was just thinking on the ride down here, because since doing this script, I've been like, last night I sat and created a 14-hour Strong Ass Women playlist on Spotify. Literally went through all of my songs. I don't even know how many there are, but I knew if I stopped, I wouldn't know where I stopped or what songs I put on. So I just had to plow through it. But anyway, I was listening to that on the way down here, and I'm a big Chapel Rowan fan. Yes. I know you don't like pop music. But
I like the one song.
Yeah,
she has.
I love her music, but I also love her, and I fucking love her parents. Have you ever heard her dad? I saw an interview with her dad once, and he was actually crying because of how much she opened his eyes to being open-minded, accepting everybody, loving everybody. And it just breaks him down to even think about how she is. But I was listening to the song on the way down, and she's singing about her girlfriend and her girlfriend's ex-girlfriend. And I just saw her in a dress she wore the other night, and it was completely sheer, like black sheer. You could see everything. And I'm like, yes, that's who we are raising.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. That, you look at the girl. I think we're a slight bit different than I think maybe, although I don't know, the majority of our generation, because of where we are geographically located.
Yeah, I could see that.
We have an enormously large gay population here.
Yes.
Always have. And it's always been very open, specifically Rehoboth Beach. They have signs up everywhere, gay friendly. They've always had drag shows. They've always had gay clubs, and you knew it. It's not like it was a secret. So I think we might, and I imagine people who live in big city, New York, where it was acceptable and stuff like that. But I just feel like we allowed it because it wasn't, because we were all different.
Yeah.
We were just trying to find
Who we were.
And I think because we were left
and
alone.
Who our people were.
Yeah. We were just left alone to figure it out on your own. So you had to find people I can't sew, but that guy over there might. And, if he does, then we should be friends because I want you to sew me this. And
yeah.
If you grew up in the 80s, you remember the music, the malls, the mixtapes. But some of us also remember something else. Feeling alone, feeling unseen, trying to survive things no one should have to survive. My Hearts of Glass book series by Pat Green isn't just a love story set under neon lights. It's about survivors trying to find each other. It's about found family. It's about the kind of love that doesn't fix the past, but helps you build a future. If you've ever needed a reminder that you are not broken, that healing is possible, that love can be safe, come visit the world of Hearts of Glass Living in a Real World and its sequel, Hearts of Glass Fade Away and Radiate. Find the books, paperback, ebook, or audiobook on patgreenauthor.com. Because your story did not end in the 80s. It's still being written.
I think a lot of it, so then you never saw really, and I don't know if it's just because it wasn't an open thing or what, but you never really saw our mothers have a gay best friend
No.
like you do now, Will and Grace.
Right.
Or, something like that. And
Because men weren't out.
no.
They probably did have gay best friends.
They were married
just
to
didn't
them.
know.
Or they were married to
Right,
them.
exactly.
So, like Sex in the City is a perfect example. Like, you never saw that with, and I get it, they're boomers, but you had never seen that before. And so that's what we were more okay with it. So the people that we raise are less gender conforming.
Right, because it's not even a thing. Like, coming up, it was like, oh, is he gay? Like,
Yeah.
Oh my God. And now it's just like, we don't even talk about it because it's irrelevant. So I remember being young. I had a lot of guy friends in school because guys are so much easier to be
So
friends
much- no
with
drama.
than girls.
They just punch each other and they're done with it.
And I had a couple of friends growing up. I knew that they were gay. And they are. When they finally came out, they didn't in school because back then it was still pretty closeted. But I remember my first adult gay man friend, and I will never forget him. It was at my first job. I was 15. I worked in a Kmart type store, and with the snack bar in the front where you could get the yummy roasted cashews and ice cream and the nachos and all the good stuff. I love that job. And he would come every night and just lounge his long, lanky self out on my counter because he wanted chocolate ice cream. And that's how he would ask for it. And I loved him. And I don't even know at that point if I really knew he was gay. Like,
Right.
He was just fun and exciting and different than anybody I had ever known, and so confident. I mean, he was still probably 20. It's not like he was old, but I was 15, so 20 seems old.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think we're really lucky that we got to grow up just
I think so.
not getting. And you know what else is funny that's happened to me 3 times this past week? People my age that I guess are getting more comfortable with me. 3 separate people, 3 different environments, different occasions, saying things that made me look at them a different way.
Really?
Yeah. Because just like one of them said, she's mad because she got in trouble at work because they're hiring a lot of Hispanic girls. And she's like, I guess I'm going to have to learn your language so I can hear what you're saying.
You can't see me rolling my eyes. But I
Yeah.
am.
So she said that at work, but then she said in front of me, if you're going to come to this country, learn the language. And I'm like, dude, how do you not know yet that this country doesn't have a language?
For fuck's sake.
English is not the American language.
I think maybe that's another part of it too, is us as Gen Xers. I mean, we just don't fucking care. So we just say whatever rolls through our brain, and whether they're good, bad, or indifferent. But for the ones that are not saying you need to learn our language, you know what I mean? We're just like, look at people like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I think that's another thing too, oddly enough, the fact that our generation as women specifically embraced cussing.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard any man? I have never heard a man cuss as much as me.
No.
I haven't.
No.
I grew up in a kitchen.
Yes.
Of a restaurant.
Yes.
With felons.
Cussing is the best.
I mean, you've never prior to now.
It is a new freedom, though, because my father-in-law, who passed away about 4 years ago, he was close to 80, so whatever generation that was. But I could not cuss in front of him, but he also would not cuss in front of me.
My dad will not cuss in front of me. He won't say the F. He won't say the F word.
My ex would tell me, my dad said blah, 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 blah. I'd be like, no way did he say that. And he's like, because he would never, ever speak like that in front of me. Mm-hmm. I remember one time we were moving, we had this portable sauna that we were selling, and we needed to help the people get it on their car. Mm-hmm. And my father-in-law had brought over his trailer, and we were putting this thing up in it, and I was the one holding it. There you go, the strong Gen X women. I was holding all the weight to lower it down to the thing while they were all kind of like, "Ugh." And it fell right on the tip of my fingers. So I screamed, fuck. And my immediate reaction was to throw my hands over my mouth and say, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And he just laughed. He's like, I'll let that one slide. That was a reason to use that word. But yeah, now, and when when we were kids, we weren't allowed to cuss in front of our parents. I didn't let my kids cuss in front of me when they were, until they got out of high school, really. And the purpose for that is you need to learn when it's appropriate to cuss and when it's not appropriate to cuss. So you need to instill in them, oh, I shouldn't say this now, but now that they're adults, my oldest daughter has a fouler mouth than I do.
I distinctly remember, and I'm pretty sure it was you and your son.
Okay.
And he was like, I don't know, 5, 6, somewhere in that neighborhood. And he came in and maybe, I know it was, I'm pretty sure it was one of your kids, came in and said, am I allowed to say cuss words in my head? And you said, all of the ones you want, as long as they stay in your head. And he went in and did.
Yeah.
I assume. I don't know.
Yep. But it probably was him, because that was around the time that he said, what the hell? Sometime. And I was like, you can't say that. So he started saying, what the what? And that's what he said for the rest of his life. What the what? But yeah, they're adults now. That's how I talk. Why would I still can't, am not allowed to.
My mom smacks me.
Yeah.
I have seen videos of, like on TikTok and stuff, of parents and their kids cussing. And our friend Christine, she told her daughter, don't do it at school, but I don't give a fuck what you say at home. Just don't say, know when it's appropriate.
That's another form of teaching them when it's right.
When it's right, and when you can't say it around, people that will get offended by it. But
yeah, because I meet with teenagers now in high schools, and I'll meet with them for the first time. I'm a professional in there. You're calling me Miss Bar, and they're cussing, just letting it fly. And I'm like, whew.
It's not appropriate.
I mean, whatever. I'm not offended, but not appropriate.
It's just, it's funny that I feel like it's, and you hear it all. I mean, like, fuck is an everyday word now. It's not the taboo that it was. And I feel like we did that. Like,
yeah. Fuck that.
Fuck this. Shit. That's our whole motto of life is fuck around and find out and fuck off. So like, that's liberating also, because I'm sorry, but if you call a man a pussy from a woman's mouth, it like the whole world collapses around them. They're just like, I cannot believe she just said that. Trust me, that's how I've gotten out of a lot of fights.
A bitch works well too.
Yeah.
Call a man a bitch. Yeah.
Pussy, boy, that really like, ugh.
Yeah.
When you say it, they're like, ugh. What? Yeah, that's right. Little bitch.
Oh, it's so funny. Oh, right. Speaking of my oldest, she's blowing my phone out. She must have heard me talking about her.
Ears are burning.
She texted me earlier today. Do you want to take me to First Watch to eat? I was like, I'm working. Like, what is wrong with you, weirdo?
No, I don't.
Besides that, I just took you to the beach this weekend and we spent $110 in the spice and tea shop.
That's too much in a tea shop.
It was. But we both got carried away.
Okay, Lipton, just, what I'm saying.
I know, but there were so many gourmet tea. I got this one. It's banana nut tea.
Oh, that sounds disgusting.
Oh my God, it's delicious. But I had a cup last night, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't caffeine free, because boy, did I have trouble falling asleep.
I'm drinking coffee right now, and it is 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm not built like that.
I am built like that.
All right, back to our story. The third wave was much more inclusive of women and girls of color than the first and second waves had been. Gen X. In reaction and opposition to stereotypical images of women as passive, weak, virginal, and faithful, or alternatively as domineering, demanding, slutty, or emasculating. The third wave redefined women and girls as assertive, powerful, and in control of their own sexuality. In popular culture, this redefinition gave rise to powerful, iconic women, including singers Madonna, the queen.
The queen.
Latifah.
If we do nothing else with this podcast, I just want to meet Queen Latifah.
Okay.
I don't care about literally anything else.
Okay.
I want to meet that woman.
I know.
I want to hug her, and I hate hugging. But I will hug her.
Yeah. Yeah.
If she would let me. I would ask, may I hug you? Yes. And if she's listening out there, for whatever reason, I hate hugging, but I would want to hug you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you're amazing.
Yeah,
And so beautiful.
Yeah. And you're tall, but she'd be taller than you. It would be one of those nice embracing hugs. Oh my gosh. And Mary J., among others, and the women depicted in television series such as Buffy,
Oh my God, I love Buffy.
Sex and the City, and Girlfriends in 2000 to 2008.
I don't know that one.
I don't know that one either. Media programming for children increasingly depicted smart, independent girls and women in lead roles, including Disney heroines such as eponymous warrior in Mulan, and Helen Parr and the daughter Violet in The Incredibles, and television characters such as Dora the Explorer. I did love Dora the Explorer. That was fun. And speaking of The Incredibles, I never got into that one, but do you remember Spy Kids?
No.
It had Antonio Banderas and...
Oh, I didn't see it, but I know. Yeah.
Oh, man. Luckily, my kids were of that age and they loved it. Those are some really good movies if you want to watch some old kids' movies. Carly and Sam and iCarly, and Sesame Street's first female lead, Abby Kadabi, who debuted in 2006. The sassy self-expression of girl power merchandise also proved popular. Early in the 1990s, third wavers embraced design making and do-it-yourself culture to distribute their own feminist publications. They also founded new nationally distributed magazines. Bus debuted in 1993, followed by Bitch in 1996 and Jane in 1997.
I remember Jane.
I was going to say I know Jane. I don't remember the other two. The increasing ease of publishing on the internet meant that e-zines, electronic magazines, and blogs became ambiguous. And did I get that right?
Ubiquitous.
Ubiquitous. By the early 2000s. Man, I'm tired.
It's all good.
No caffeinated tea for me
It's
today.
been a weird week.
Many writers and organizers found that the internet offered a forum for the exchange of information and the publication of essays and videos to a potentially huge audience. The internet radically democratized the content of the feminist movement with respect to participants, aesthetics, and issues.
Heard.
Predictably, third wavers faced critics. Yeah. Even as the third wave found its voice, some writers were declaring themselves post-feminist and arguing that the movement had lived beyond its usefulness.
Clearly.
That's hilarious. Meanwhile, established feminists in the earlier generations argued that the issues had not really changed and that the younger women were not adding anything of substance. Fuck you. By about 2000, some writers from inside and outside the movement rushed to declare that the wave had broken. In addition, questions of the meanings of sexualized behavior raised debate on whether such things as revealing clothing, designer label stiletto heels, and amateur pole dancing represented true sexual liberation and gender equality or old oppressions in disguise.
I took a pole dancing class for quite a long time.
Your sister had a pole in her house.
We had a pole in the house.
Yes, I remember that.
It's an extremely good
Yeah.
exercise.
Oh, yeah. I remember when you
and
did
it
that.
is extremely liberating. I tell you all, take a class once, get yourself a pole. Very liberating. Very good exercise. And you don't even know that you're exercising until the next day when you can barely move. But we took it for like 3 years.
I remember.
I loved it.
Yeah.
It's the
I
only
remember
form
you
of
loving it,
exercise
too.
I've ever enjoyed.
You missed your calling.
I know. I want to get a pole now. I would get one tomorrow.
As with any other social or political movement, fissures and disagreements were present in each wave of feminism. The third wave, to an extent almost unimaginable to the members of the first and second wave before it, was plural and multifaceted, comprising people of many gender, ethnic, and class identities, experiences, and interests. As such, its greatest strength, multivocality, was attacked by some of its greatest weakness. Third wavers countered this criticism by stating that the creation of a unified agenda or philosophy, or at least one that was unified beyond the very general statements offered by groups such as Third Wave Foundation, groups and individuals working towards gender, racial, economic, and social justice, was a goal that was not only unrealistic, but undesirable. And that's the end of that. But what I want to say here about the ending is the one big issue I have with women is that we are our own worst enemy.
Yes.
Women love to tear women down.
Yes.
Women blame women. I mean, when a husband cheats, who does the wife go after?
The other woman.
The other woman, right. And you look like this or you dress like this. Women are the worst bullies.
100%.
Like far worse than boys are.
Yes.
I mean, boys
Punch each other in the face and move on.
well, they do, or they call each other names. And as a kid, it's hurtful, and I'm not minimizing it. But as adults, they still talk to each other that way.
Yes.
It's just how they talk to each
My
other.
dad's
It's just you grow up and you figure it out.
My dad's BFF. He loves this man. They have been friends as long as I have been on Earth. His Joe. Mm-hmm. He calls, and when he calls my dad answers the phone. What do you want, asshole?
Exactly.
That's
Yeah, guys, just, whatever. But women, we got to start being nicer to each other. I mean, come on. Like, building someone up and making someone better does not take anything away from you.
nope.
So just, yeah, we still have a long way to go. Reading through all of this, we've gotten a lot done since the 20. Well, it's been 100 years now.
I think one of the most important things that we are currently doing is speaking about menopause.
Yes.
Because prior to, I knew my mom was going through menopause. Mm-hmm. But you never heard about
Oh, God, no.
nothing. I mean, when you got your period, they would tell your first period, they would say, oh, in like 35 years, 40 years, 50 years, it'll stop.
Right.
And then you can't have kids anymore. And that was it. That was it.
Yeah.
It stops. You won't have kids anymore.
I even like that now, like, maxi pad commercials have red liquid going into the pad. It's not blue when it comes out. It's not clear. It's red.
Yeah.
And that's what they do. Although I will say, I think men are trying to pay us back for all the girl commercials they didn't want to see. Because have you now seen that little pee pad thing that you can stick in your underwear as a man? I forget what it's called, but for older men of our age and older, it's this little pad that actually, when the guy stuck it down in his undies, not that he did it right on the screen or anything, it actually kind of makes him look like he has a bulge. So I'm like, all right, well, you see what you're doing here.
I got your number.
But it's for the dribble.
Right, sure.
To catch the dribble. And I'm like, ew, I don't need to hear about your dribble.
But I think, you see it on TV. You see commercials for MIDI or, the HRT. And, HRT was like, hush, hush. I mean, my mom, when I said to her, why? I know it was around, but it caused breast cancer and it caused this and it caused it. It doesn't.
Which was probably a bunch of older white men deciding that.
Yeah.
Based on basically nothing.
And you didn't know. None of us knew what perimenopause was. We just thought one day when your period stops, that's the end of the road. And it's not. It starts way before then.
Yeah.
And it continues way after that. Yeah. And it just is a horrible, horrible experience.
It really is.
And I think it's very important for us to come out with it, to share and talk about it, so that when your girls go through it,
yes,
they know what to expect, unlike us. And we're the worst people in the world to be blindsided by this nonsense, because we're already hateful people. Mm-hmm. We already are angry over everything in the world. And so, like, this just compounding it is not good for things. And that's another thing. Like, I feel like soon this is all going to come to a head. And we're all in menopause, and we're going to burn this bitch to the ground.
I can't wait.
Because
I can't wait.
At some point, we're all going to sync up.
Yeah.
On our menopause journey.
Yeah. And another topic that I considered for today, but I am going to do one day, is there's a new trend called gray divorce, where women our age are hitting menopause, and we're like, fuck this married life and this lump of mail that I have sitting here next to me that I haven't been happy with for years and years and years. I'm out. I'm going to go hang out with my girls and live my life. There's also another trend. Sorry. Women, if they get diagnosed with something terminal, they are divorcing their husbands and bringing their girlfriends in to be with them because they're like, I don't want to spend my last days with my husband. I want to spend my last days with my girls.
Yeah.
So we are rising up.
I feel like we did that too. Like, the girls' trips, the golden girl life.
Yes.
Like, I know, I understand that they were like the silent generation or boomers or whatever, but we grew up like that was like, I mean, you and I have always said that when we get old, we're going to move in a house together and we're going to live, the golden girl's life, which for us is going to be, she's going to be in one half of the house and I'm going to be in the other half of the house and we'll text each other.
Oh, for sure.
But we won't speak. No. We'll never speak again.
No, we'll come together to make the podcast. That'll be it.
But I feel like that is a Gen X thing that like, we're just, I'm telling you,
we're over it.
I think when we all get here, most of us are here now.
Yep.
And obviously it happens for all of us at different times, but I feel like we're all going to get on the same page at some point here.
It's going to be bad.
I've seen a lot of Gen X TikTokers being like, why would you have a draft? Why would you not just send 50-year-old women to whatever country you want and just let us go? She's like, 'cause I got a lot of anger.
That's another meme I love is, who decided to sync up World War III and Gen X hitting menopause at the same time?
and this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, we talk about it.
Yeah.
You would have never heard our mothers unless it was in a hushed tone on the phone with their BFF. Like, you didn't see it on TV. You didn't see it. You just saw the crazy wife. That she was, acting crazy, but you didn't know why. So now we're like, you know what, bitch? I'm in menopause. You just step off with that tone.
Yeah, I say it openly in professional environments. Like if I'm having a hot flash or my joints are aching or I'm tired because I couldn't sleep good. I'm like, menopause. It's menopause.
I can see it in our office. I can see the women that are older. And when I'm like, oh, sweet baby Jesus, I'm having a hot flash. And they kind of like look over at me and then look away. And then the woman in the next case over, she's hitting menopause too. And she's like leaned over like, oh my God, I know. What the fuck?
The poor older ladies are probably like, oh my God.
I know. They're like,
and
they're not
talking about it.
that much older than us, but it's still like a hush hush over there. And her and I are just like, what the actual fuck is happening? God, I'm gonna die.
I was in the group I was with today. I was with a group of colleagues from a bunch of different places, and there was only one man there, and the rest of us were women. And somebody asked him how he felt spending the past 2 days with all women. He's like, oh, I'm a teacher. He was like, I've primarily just been around women anyway. And the one woman used to work with him. She's like, yeah, her and another teacher. She said, we both hit menopause at the same time while he was working closely with the two of us. And 1 minute I'd be up opening the window because I'm sweating, and she'd be over there closing the window because she was freezing, and then she'd be opening the window because she was hot. And he's just cracking up. He's like, yep, that really happened. They were like, he turned 40 today. So they were like, we were preparing him for when his wife gets there. So, and they're probably about 10 years older than me, but they were talking openly about it. So, I mean, that is how it is now.
My other coworker that's next to the two of us, he's the same age as us. And we were going back and forth, and he was like, yeah, that's my wife. Yeah, my wife is having that problem. I just try and stay away. I don't. And, that's
the best thing you can do.
It's beyond our control, kids. I don't know.
It is.
And I'm telling you, we're all going to sync up. We're going to burn this bitch to the ground.
I can't wait.
Let's go, girls. That was lovely.
Thanks. It was fun.
Very empowering.
Yeah.
We got to do it.
It's good to know our history. Happy Women's History Month to everyone. My birthday falls on International Women's Day, which I am so honored that I get to share that day. So, yeah.
Well, if you've enjoyed this episode, like, share, rate, review.
Please.
We have somebody that has downloaded our entire
they have
category.
Love it.
Welcome.
Yay.
Wherever you are from. sync up with us and burn this bitch to the ground.
Yeah.
You can find us anywhere that you would find a podcast.
Anywhere.
You can find us on all the socials.
All of them.
At Like Whatever Pod. You can go to YouTube. We have a YouTube page,
We
Like
do.
Whatever Pod. We have a website. There's some W's and some dots and some likewhateverpod.com. You can send us an email as to where we're going to start this revolution and burn this bitch to the ground at likewhateverpod@gmail.com or don't like whatever.
Whatever.
Bye.